I'm a Sonic fan. I'm a Nintendo fan. I'm a licensed platformer fan. I don't play games like Marvel Rivals. Yet here I am, having played this game for 12 hours and being so impacted by it that I had to make an off-the-cuff video about it. I've never touched games like Overwatch, Team Fortress 2, or anything like that. In fact, it took me 8 years to give Fortnite a chance. I guess you could say I have like the mentality of a boomer. There's just like something about these games, you know, as like a platformer fan that I'm like, I don't want to play games with people. I just want to play games by my lonesome self and die alone. I also just preemptively judged the legitimacy of a free-to-play kind of game. How could a game be good if you can play it for free? I was that stubborn. I was that stone-headed. I just needed someone to literally crack my head open. I'm glad no one did that though. Hello, conventionally attractive human. My name is RidersDX and welcome to my channel where today we're gonna go a little bit outside my comfort zone because yeah, playing this game has literally been outside my comfort zone, but there was just something about the game that kept me coming back, and I'm here to talk about it because it's been a pretty insane transformation. I guess before we really dive into it, what is Marvel Rivals? Marvel Rivals is a team-based third-person shooter slash action fighter game, I guess you could call it, where you team up with 5 different people and you go against 6 other people, and the goal is to basically land as many kills as you can. There's 3 different classes of fighters you can play as. There's like a DPS, which is like the big damage dealer kind of like fighter. Then you have tanks, which have lots of health, and then you have support or healers, and they basically just try to keep the team alive. And so a perfectly balanced team will have a little bit of all 3, although I've seen some other teams do really well of like 5 DPSs, but that's not really a common thing. So don't go and try that unless you know what you're doing. It sounds like a really simple concept, and it's pretty similar to what I would imagine to Overwatch 2, although I know absolutely nothing about Overwatch 2, and I probably won't for a while. But yeah, this is just sort of not the kind of game I would really typically venture into. I'm known on this channel for talking about a lot of single player adventures. I have delved into like kart racers at least, even like platform fighters like Multiverses and Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. So it's not like multiplayer is not totally out of my realm, but there's just something about Marvel Rivals that just felt extremely like out of my scope, and it just was never really something I probably would have ever tried if it wasn't for some outside factors. And so I guess that leads me to my next point, like what changed? Why was it this game that I decided to try out, and why was it this time that I legitimately decided to give something like this a chance? As cheesy as it sounds, I found love. I know it's a cardinal sin of a video gamer, but it's true. I met a boy, I began to date him, and months into our relationship, he became obsessed with this game. Like, it was crazy. It was all he ever wanted to do, like every single day. That's still the case right now. Obviously, love can make you do a lot of crazy things, and for me, that was giving a game like Marvel Rivals a legitimate chance. Since it's a kind of game I've never played before, like I said, I've never touched games like Overwatch or Team Fortress 2 or whatever else is out there, it felt pretty foreign for me when I first played it. And I hate not knowing what's going on when I play a game for the first time, especially when it's in the presence of other people. I have a lot of like issues like mentally with looking like I don't know what I'm doing, or looking like I'm lesser, I guess you can say, in terms of knowledge compared to other people. That's why I really love like single player adventures, because I can kind of just like feel it out by myself and stuff. I'm just extremely insecure, huge Scorpio energy, you know, all that stupid stuff that, you know, I should really just get over. But here we are anyway. I would be playing with like my boyfriend and his friends, and they were saying things like, oh, they buffed this character, or they nerfed this character, or there's too much DPS on this side, or this map is not good enough for flying characters. And it's like, it's literally like entering North Korea for me. Like, I'm speaking a foreign language with people and I have no idea what I'm saying, and I have no idea what they're saying, and it's a hot mess, and I just want to freak out. I just want to explode my head so I can get out of the situation. It's bad. It's bad. I guess you could say I hate actively sucking in front of people, and I know that's my own damn thing. It's something I'm really working on, and I gotta say, Marvel Rivals is actually a game that really helped me to get past some of that, at least. I believe this stems from my memories of a child, as I would rage scream at my brother when I would lose like matches in like Sonic Heroes is like 2-player mode. And so I don't like to lose. I don't like to look like I don't know what I'm doing, and Marvel Rivals just put me in like a very uncomfortable place when it comes to that. But because my boyfriend was obsessed with the game, we kept playing it. I kept giving it a chance. I eventually logged like maybe 6 to 7 hours in season 1.0, and it it slowly like grew on me. It just slowly did. And I don't know, a switch just kind of clicked in my head one day, sometime after like 1.5 came out, I think. And even though the season is just like a week old, I think, as of making this video, I've already matched the 6 hours that I spent in 1.0 with much more to come. In fact, I have basically taken the plague that this game is and I spread it over to my friend group, and now my friends are playing the game. And so it is just like a virus that just goes around everywhere, spreading itself thin and just like becoming one of everyone. So what is it that like truly changed, I guess you could say? Well, I spent like the first season playing as mainly Rocket the raccoon. I like the idea of being a support person rather than being like on the front lines, like trying to hit people and stuff, or being like a tank trying to protect the people around me. I like the idea of just being like in the background, just like supporting people and not putting myself out there, again, to avoid sucking in front of everyone and things like that. And Rocket was like a 1-star character, so I played him over and over again. Rocket's a fun character. Like, I'm not going to drag on Rocket, but I was getting kind of like bored with him, you know, just playing only him like over and over again. But I was just too scared and just too afraid to like play anyone else. And I just like, the more I played the game, the more I felt comfortable with it, and the more I started like experimenting and playing with other characters. And I think that's when the switch like really happened. I saw how much depth there was in like all the characters, and while it seemed like such a big like incomprehensible thing to jump into a new character, once I started doing it, it actually was like kind of easily accessible and also like a fun opportunity to learn new things. I guess what truly changed for me is I just sort of accepted that it was okay to suck. It was okay to suck. It is okay to struggle in front of others while playing this game, despite what some toxic players might have you believe. I think a big credit to this is my boyfriend. He was like, you can play different characters, you know, we're doing quick play, like it's okay to suck and things like that. His friends started saying the same thing, like I could play someone else besides Rocket. I started playing a little bit more Scarlet Witch in particular, and like that's been a lot of fun. Like I really have started realizing that I have a great affinity to a murderous spirit. Not concerning or anything like that, obviously, but I do love to kill. I'm certainly no veteran when it comes to these kind of games, so it's really difficult for me to really say like why it is I like this game so much and why it's become so popular. I mean, you look at some of the headlines of Marvel Rivals, it has become one of the most successful live service games to have ever come out in the last like decade or so. In a time when it seemed like live service games were flopping left and right, it really is just like a 1 in a million kind of like game, and it is becoming a real staying power in 2025. And while I can't really explain the intricacies of why this game is doing so well and why in particular people are liking it so much more compared to Overwatch 2, I will say that what I love about Marvel Rivals is that it's so much fun to play with like friends, and the feeling you get when you like struggle to like a match and win against all odds is one of the best feelings in the world. Like this like real sense of camaraderie and like teamwork. And I know I sound super cheesy, but this is my vibe, so you just got to deal with it. But also the sense of like togetherness when we lose a match and we just laugh it off. We played like a match I think a couple days ago, and one of our friends was playing it for the first time, and he was Jeff, and he had 0% accuracy when we got to the end of a match, and we all burst out laughing because it's like, oh, you did such a good job, man. 0% accuracy, well done. It's just like, it's fun. It's fun to win and it's fun to lose, and it's just fun to play with people that you know and like strengthen your friendships in that way. And that's something I've really have grown to discover since dating this boy. Playing games together has been a great benefit to our relationship, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And thanks to him, I've started exposing myself to games like Marvel Rivals and Fortnite. I mean, who knows what else is gonna come on the horizon from here on out, but it taught me to not be such a stickler, to not stick so much to what I know, and to just like open my mind and like play different things and see what I like, you know? Life is short and there's so many games you could play out there, so don't limit yourself to something, even if it's really good. Like I'll always be a Sonic fan, like all in and out, and like he'll always be my #1 franchise. I always love SpongeBob games, I always love Nintendo, you know, I'll always love these games that I grew up with. But it doesn't mean I can't experiment. It doesn't mean I can't like try other things and see if I like anything else. And I am really starting to find that there are so many games out there. It's such a big world, and I should just stop being so fucking stubborn. So yeah, I did force myself through 12 hours of Marvel Rivals, but now that I think back on it, it was more so like 6-ish hours, because now the other 6 hours I played pretty much willingly, whether or not my boyfriend was an influence. And you know, sometimes you gotta like let things settle in, because I needed Marvel Rivals to really settle in for like a month or so before I really started like giving it a chance. And you know, break down those barriers, try new things, and don't be afraid to suck, because I suck, you suck, we all suck, and sucking can be fun. But alright y'all, I'm hoping if anything, if you're watching this video, you've not played Marvel Rivals before, then you're at least like convinced to give it a chance, because I really think it's a fun experience. I think you would be surprised at how much you would enjoy it. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Have you played Marvel Rivals? What are your thoughts about it? If you haven't, why haven't you played it yet? You know, things like that. I would literally kill for a DC version of this. I need to be playing like as Batman, Joker, Harley Quinn. I know these are all Batman characters, but I don't care. I would kill to play as these characters, because DC is so much better than Marvel in terms of like characters and stuff, but I digress. Anyway, be sure to subscribe to this channel if you like videos like this, you want more interesting discussions like this. You know, this is who I am. I love telling stories, I love talking about things, and I love microphones. Yeah, this is Riders, riding out.